since I'm from Russia, and if you would ask me, what is one thing common for all Russians? I would tell you that all Russians want to learn English. And speaking English makes you sound highly educated and sophisticated. And the Russians will admire you if you read British novels and watch Hollywood movies and can understand instructions for coffee makers. And in a country where everybody wants to learn English, you would expect that you could hardly throw a brick without hitting an English teacher. Only that's not the case. I grew up in a small town with about 7,000 population, and if you throw 7,000 bricks in my town, only one brick would hit an English teacher. And that would be an old lady named Larissa. And I was lucky enough to enroll in her class for 1 year before she retired. And if you think that I was the brightest bulb in my class, then you would be correct. Because I already had a favorite American song, though I could understand only one word in it, which was mono, mono, mono. And I assumed that's like mono audio versus stereo audio. I also had a favorite novel, Treasure Island, which I read in Russian translation. So in one of my bright bulb moments, I decided that the best way to study English is to memorize Treasure Island in original English. And memorizing was not a problem. It was as easy as ABC for me. However, I didn't suspect that the ABC was the problem. Because in Russia, they don't teach you English alphabet ABC. Instead, for some strange reason, they teach you literally the Roman ancient alphabet A, B, C. That's why we Russians sound like ancient Roman mafia. So as soon as I memorized a couple of paragraphs from Treasure Island, I decided to, I posted about it to my old teacher, and she said, let me hear it. And let her hear I did. I recited, Doktor Livsey und Azer Kentelenen, Asked me tuvrite about Treasure Islam. And my English teacher, old lady, bless her heart, burst into tears. And she said, I've been working teaching in this town for 20 years, and you are the only one who learned English. Her words inspired me, and I kept memorizing Treasure Island, but soon she retired and I didn't have anybody to practice it with. After I graduated and started enrolled in the local college, I discovered that they had only one English class, and it was already overbooked, and it was for advanced students. So I met with the English professor and explained to him that though I didn't have opportunity to study properly English at school, but I memorized the novel Treasure Island, and so I know all the words. He said, okay, let me hear it. And let him hear I did. Doktor Livsey and Uzer Kentelenen Asked me tuvrite about Treasure Islam. The old professor said, let me be honest with you. That is not English. Maybe you just don't have talent for languages. Some people don't. And he never let me enroll in his class. So 10 years later, I became director of that college. The old man, unfortunately, already retired by then, and I missed my chance to fire him personally. But one day, a short man with curly hair walked into my office and introduced himself as Sergei, an English teacher, and I instantly hired him. And he said, as a thank you, I want to teach you English. I said, that's okay, I don't have talent for languages. He said, but we are speaking a language right now. So how come you don't have talent for languages? Everybody does. And that simple argument revived my hope to study English. And I instantly informed him that I memorized Treasure Island. He said, that's good, you know a lot of words. And I'll correct your pronunciation and teach you grammar. And that very day he taught me 2 grammar rules in English. The construction, this is, for objects that are close, and the construction that is for objects that are far away. And after work, driving home, I was talking English. This is a car. This is a road. That is a police officer. This is a ticket. It was like magic. And Sergei was like a linguist, magician. So as soon as I learned English, however, I didn't have chance to speak to any native speaker until I came to the United States. And the first person I spoke on the American soil was a young, tall janitor at DC National Airport. I asked him, where is the restroom? And he answered, you are standing right in front of it. And I felt a cultural shock. Because even though I asked him a question in English, I didn't expect that janitors speak English. Because in Russia, only highly educated people speak English. And I thought, I guess I won't be the brightest bulb in this town. And then I saw a little boy with his mother and a dog. And the boy was trying to throw a stick, but he lost his balance and fell on the floor. And he said, Mommy, is this when you say the F word? And I thought, I wonder what is the F word? I never read it in Treasure Island. And then the mother threw the stick and said, fetch the stick. And while I was trying to understand what she said, the dog ran away and brought back the stick. And I thought, even dogs speak English better than I do. But after a couple of months living in a native speaker environment, I caught up with pronunciation, vocabulary, and I pretty soon could read Treasure Island as it is written, so you can check it out. Dr. Livesey and other gentlemen asked me to write about Treasure Island. That's how it sounds. And sometime later, I heard the song, my favorite American song from my childhood. And this time I could recognize and understand what it was about. So it was more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come no more. But most importantly, I figured that fetch was not the F word. I don't know much yet, but I know that the F word is fudge.